I think he's probably been injured every year he's been in the league. But when he's well, he's hell. But it comes with the price. Welcome to Pigskin Passion TV. And it's your boy, the Black Mamba. It's season 2, episode number 83. And guys, we back. We back for another week of fantasy football. And guys, the streak is over. Black Mamba suffered his first loss of the year. The Black Mamba Diner was thriving and handing out hot L's, and this Sunday they closed. We ended up going to your boy them. We went to their little shack and they served us a hot L. And guys, I was thoroughly disappointed in this loss simply because I lost to one of the lowest scoring teams in the league. And what cost me my win was this guy right here at tight end. Tight ends have not done nothing the whole year. And this dude put up 26 points. And what was even worse, it combated what my quarterback was doing, Joe Cool Hand Burrow. He was throwing touchdowns, and he threw 5 of them. It just so happens that 2 of them went to this guy. So it kind of cushioned the blow because I was cruising to a victory, guys. But hey, that's what's been happening with me the entire year. I've been somehow beating everybody that was in front of me, no matter how. And the tables were turned this week. So I'm going to take my L like a man. I'm going to go take my plate home, finish eating my dinner, and we're going to get back at it this week, guys. And with that said, let's jump into waiver wire pickups this week. And I really don't have any waiver wire pickups, but let me throw out some pickups that can either help your team get to the playoffs or can help your team get over the humps when the playoffs start. And at quarterback, I put this guy out there a couple of weeks, and I think he's still out in some leagues, and that's Drake May. And he's been shaky since he started the previous 2 games, but he offers a high ceiling. Last week, he threw for 206 yards, had a touchdown, and he had 2 interceptions. But he adds another dimension to being able to score, and that's with his legs. He had 96 yards rushing. And at running back, Ray Davis is a guy that you want to keep an eye on as well. Surprisingly, he's still available in a lot of leagues. And last week he had a touchdown of 63 yards. And he didn't get a lot of touches, but he's definitely handcuffed to James Cook that you may want to hold on to in case Cooks was to go down with an injury. So Ray Davis is somebody you may want to see if he's available. Another guy is Trey Benson, and he also had a touchdown run this week. It was 55 yards. He's not available in my league, but if he's on your waiver wire, I would make him maybe one of my top priorities to scoop because James Conner, he has a high risk for injury. I think he's probably been injured every year he's been in the league. But when he's well, he's hell. But it comes with the price. So I would definitely scoop up Trey Benson. And he's one of those guys, if you make it to the playoffs or if you're close at the end of the season, he could help you get over the hump if he becomes available and becomes a starter. Another guy is Cam Akers. And he got traded to the Vikings a couple of weeks ago. And it looks like he's the primary backup to Aaron Jones. Ty Chandler, who was Aaron's backup, he didn't even sniff the field this week. And I like Cam as a stash if he can stay healthy. He's definitely a good running back, and he'll be able to add a little bang if he gets more playing time. And at wide receiver, Quentin Johnston with the Los Angeles Chargers. He led the team in receiving yards, and he also had a touchdown against the Cleveland Browns. And he has favorable matchups in the next 3 to 4 weeks. So if you're kind of hurting at wide receiver, he may be a guy that you can go out there and pick up, and he'll give you a little bit of a boost. And next up is Xavier Leggett. And it looks like he's the number one receiver now that Deontay Johnson isn't there anymore. And being the number one receiver with the Carolina Panthers, I don't really know how much that means because this offense really sucks. But there was a little improvement against the New Orleans Saints. I don't know if it was because the Saints suck too, or if because they have really made a tiny baby step to improve the offense. But with him being the number one receiver and the offense, if it can improve just a little, he may make a good flex position player. And next up is Mike Williams. And he got traded to my Pittsburgh Steelers. And we actually tried to get him during free agency. And he finally was traded to the Steelers. And there's no reason he shouldn't be able to at least be the number 2 receiver in this offense. So I think once he gets the playbook down and he gets comfortable and he has a package, I think he's going to make a good stash for the playoffs and for the end of the season run. And at tight end, guys, talking about karma, Mike Gesicki. And he's, well, you already know he's not available in my league, but I've been poo-pooing on tight ends all year, how the lack of production is hit or miss. And this was the reason I lost my first game, because the tight end went out and he stepped up and he had yards. He had a big line on Sunday. As you can see here, he had 5 catches for 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. And T. Higgins probably isn't playing this week again with this quick turnaround. They're playing on Thursday. So he should continue to see targets. And in addition to that, even when T. Higgins comes back, he's still going to get a lot of run because the other tight end, the rookie, Eric All, he's out for the season with the ACL injury. Next up at tight end is Jonnu Smith. And he caught 5 passes for 46 yards on Sunday, which isn't really saying a whole lot. But in the last 4 games, he's been targeted at least 6 times, which is all you can ask for at the tight end position. And as always, guys, I'm streaming my defenses. And the first defense I'm looking at is the Los Angeles Chargers. They are playing the Tennessee Titans. And the Titans, even though they won this weekend, they're on the struggle bus when it comes to putting points on the board. And I really like it when Will Levis is out there and I have a defense going against them. But Mason Rudolph, he can be a turnover machine as well. So I like the high ceiling of being able to get turnovers and sacks. Mason, he's not mobile. So I think that the Chargers should be able to get a few sacks on him, and maybe he'll turn the ball over and throw a few interceptions as well. The next team, if I can't get the Los Angeles Chargers, is the Chicago Bears. They're playing the New England Patriots this week. And just like the Titans, New England, they have a hard time moving the ball. They have been able to move the ball at times with the rookie in there, Drake May. But last week, he turned the ball over a little bit. He actually turned the ball over at a crucial time in the 4th quarter when the game was tied. The Titans were able to drive and take the lead and not relinquish it. Actually, they did. They tied the game up, but it was a big turnover. Needless to say, I don't think that New England can put a lot of points on the board. And I think the Bears are a good enough defense where they'll be able to create some turnovers. If those 2 teams are not available, then my next up is the New York Giants. And the Giants defense has been really good. And I think they are the best unit on this team. And they're leading the NFL in sacks. They're playing the Carolina Panthers. And that's all I need to say. In 4 games that Bryce Young has started, they've only averaged like 12, a little over 12 points a game. And he's thrown 2 interceptions in at least 3 of those games. So you can expect a low scoring point total from Carolina, as well as a couple of sacks. and maybe even a couple of interceptions. Next team up, if all three of those teams are not available, is the Detroit Lions. They're playing the Houston Texans. And since Nico Collins has been out, the Texans offense has really struggled to put points on the board. They're scoring less than 20 points a game, and they are also giving up a ton of sacks on my guy, CJ Stroud. They've been giving up like 4 sacks a game. And as we all know, the Lions defense is very opportunistic, even with Hutchinson out. So I like the Detroit Lions to put pressure on CJ and get a few sacks and maybe even turn the ball over. So, guys, those are my waiver wire pickups this week. And let's go out and continue to build off of this waiver wire and strengthen our teams. And before I go, guys, do me a favor. Spike that like, comment, subscribe. And it's your boy, the Black Mamba, out.